Hello and welcome to the Drunk Philosophy Podcast number 2. I'm here with my guest today, Michael. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Nathan. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem, mate. Before we go too much further, I'd just like to give a big shout out to a certain football team that won the AFL Grand Final today for 2018. The Premiers, go West Coast.
Are you going to give us a rendition of the theme song? Or?
I don't think the listeners' ears need to hear that.
But no, that was a hell of a game.
It certainly was, and I believe that this evening you wanted to talk about one of your favourite hobbies, which is watching movies.
Yes, I'm a big cinephile. I love watching all kinds of movies. I love a good comedy, love a good horror. But today I thought something really close to my heart is I love a good parody movie.
Don't we all love a good parody movie?
That's right.
And I'm feeling a bit of a Mel Brooks vibe coming on here.
Oh yeah, I love Mel Brooks. I love Monty Python. Some of the newer ones, not such a great big fan of, but we'll get to that.
Well, no doubt.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're going to try to have a discussion about this, I think that we should try to work out, if we can, what went wrong, because there was a period where the 70s, 80s, mid 90s, even late 90s, the parody scene was brilliant.
Yes.
And then it just fell on its backside.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of thoughts about that, but let's go. I prefer to go the other way. Let's start at the beginning.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, yes.
Yeah. So I'm sure it'll come to a surprise to no one that the first parody films came out pretty much the same time as the first quote-unquote normal films.
Yes.
Yes. So I think, according to Wikipedia, so you know you can trust it, 1900 was the first one that they had.
So hang on. You've done your research.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So 1900.
1900. I think, I can't quite remember. I think it was something like the Little Train Robbery.
Yep.
Yep. So...
that was an Australian movie, wasn't it? You know, Australians are the first at everything, mate.
Yeah, that's right. But really I'm going to... For us, because, you know, obviously we talk about these sorts of things a lot,
yes.
The heyday, possibly because of when we were born, 70s through the 90s.
I think so. But I also think that's when people actually started watching parody movies, or people intentionally created them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you'd have to start with something like Blazing Saddles, surely.
Yeah, Blazing Saddles, great example to start with. Obviously parodying a Western, I think we all know that.
Absolutely.
And absolutely quotable and absolutely could not be made today.
And, well, yeah, and one of the reasons it can't be made today is because Mel Brooks has always been very good at using, we'll say, racist archetypes as humour, to sort of be humorous with it. For example, I forget the character who was played by the African-American's name now. Barrett, thank you. Yes, the sheriff.
Yes.
And you know, he did the whole scene where what was it? You know, he puts
the gun and make one move and the nigger gets it.
That's the one. It's a bit early to drop the N-bomb in the podcast, isn't it, mate? But yes, you're right.
That's right. Okay, so everything we're saying here is quotes from the movie, not necessarily our actual thoughts.
We don't have a problem with anyone.
No.
I just if we go Mel Brooks, we'd have to also say that about Jewish people, but that's
Germans,
everyone. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's one of the things that made that movie so special. Was really one of the first movies that sort of parodied the whole, you know, racist subculture or subtext to the American culture.
Yeah, because obviously, you know, they start off with the lowest of the low, let's say, as an African American, and he ends up being the guy in charge. You know, and he does a really good job. And I mean,
and of course we'll get to this movie eventually, but of course he has a lovely echo of that in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes.
With a chew.
Yes.
Bless you. Yeah. And I mean, Gene Wilder, of course. I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder is just amazing in that. And the great thing about that movie is it doesn't end.
No. It's got that very strange ending where they go and watch the end of the movie, which I thought was fantastic.
And they run through the whole set and their horses and have the big shootout.
Get your pies for the great pie fight.
I mean, it really did sort of make fun of that whole Sergio Leone sort of, a few dollars more.
Yeah.
That whole the idea of the fantastic idea of the cowboy. The big, tough, strong guy who ends up crying at the pub bar, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, and obviously at the end of the movie they go riding off into the sunset together.
Yes.
Metaphorically speaking, both the together and the sunset.
Yeah, if he had have made that movie about 40 years later, he could have done something with that scene in Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, that's right. Brokeback Saddles.
Oh, look out.
There we go, write that down.
Right, add it to the list of things we will never make.
And so Mel Brooks is fantastic. Well, let's go through his. I did not get Young Frankenstein, I've got to say.
It had some... The dancing scene was fantastic.
It had its moments, but...
Where they did the sing-song and he's singing and every time Frankenstein's monster got to the wizard...
putting on the Ritz.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. It was... I didn't get that. It had its moments, but yeah, that's fine. And look, sorry, I'm sure we're going to miss out a few here. Spaceballs.
Well, we've already missed out a few there.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, we're going Mel Brooks. So
yeah.
Spaceballs, that is a quintessential... If you're a geek like we are, we are complete and utter geeks.
Yep.
And Star Wars, Star Trek, Transformers, the 80s childhood culture that we grew up with, everything is lampooned in that.
Yes.
And it's to me, it's still my favourite parody movie of all time.
I'm not sure. It's certainly up there. I love it. I've introduced my kids to it now. They're pre-teens. So that they start quoting stuff to me now. Every time we go shopping, we buy some jam, raspberry. Nobody gives me raspberry.
Except
one man gives me
Star,
raspberry. Even I can't quote it now.
Every time you make a cup of coffee, of course I'm going to have Mr. Coffee. I always have Mr. Coffee before watching Mr. Radar.
Everybody knows that. Of course we do so.
And of course the most brilliant existential scene in a movie of all time. When is now? You just missed it.
Just now. When will then be now? Soon.
That was absolutely... who does that?
Yeah. And like just the name of the sequel, The Search for More Money.
Exactly, which of course was a big rip-off of episode... the third Star Trek movie, The Search for Spock.
Yeah.
But just the detail in that movie, like you'd go to the toilet and there's Spaceballs, the toilet paper, Spaceballs, the flamethrower, the kids love this one. Had so many great moments.
That's right. It's one of my favourites. It was my birthday last month, and my sister-in-law is a very good artist.
Oh, so happy birthday for last month.
Thank you. She drew up a poster, a painting for my office.
Yes.
And it had the DeLorean.
Oh, beautiful.
Bumblebee. In car form.
Yeah.
And it had the diner from Spaceballs. And so everybody gets the first two, nobody gets the diner. So
hello, my baby. Hello, my
That's
honey.
right.
And then you got John Hurt lying down there. Oh, no, not again.
So I have to explain it every time. And it's just awesome. I love it.
It's one of those movies that managed to get every single major science fiction franchise to that point, encapsulate that in an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah.
And let's face it, young teenage life, Daphne Zuniga. Daphne Zuniga. But
that's right. Yeah. Okay, moving on a bit. Robin Hood.
Men in Tights.
Love it.
Love that movie.
I saw it when it came out. Possibly I missed a few things as a young teenager.
Yes.
And I'm sure my kids would not have any idea on the joke as what if we fox them, because they have no idea what a fax is.
and of course then you've got the whole joke which later became a big internet meme with what does the fox say? And the fox runs away and of course it sounds exactly like a dolphin. and it was about 20 years too early.
It's just great, I'm better than other Robin Hoods because I can do a British accent.
This guy's starting to annoy me. Prince John is sitting there, and he points to the people around, blowing into the bubble bath, a spa bath, and he goes, "Blow, guys," and they blow. No, guys. I say blow, I mean go.
Or the witch, it's called Latrine, and she's going, "Oh, my family changed its name." You changed it to Latrine? Yeah, it used to be Shit House. It's a good change.
Yes. The whole the whole concept of that movie was absolutely brilliant. Even down to the last scene, he finally gets the key to unlock the chastity belt, and they get married. And as the end credits start rolling, it's like the key doesn't fit. What?
Call the royal locksmith.
It was absolutely magnificent.
Or when the witch saves the sheriff of Rottingham's life.
Yes.
She's going, oh, this will save you, but you'll have to be mine. Gives him a lifesaver.
Yeah.
It's so obvious, but it's so well done. And, I've changed my mind.
The scene with the sheriff of Rottingham and Robin Hood, who's sitting there going, so it's come down to this, me and you, mano a mano, just you, me, and my guards! And Blinken.
And Blinken, yes.
Blinken.
Yeah.
Hey, Blinken, did you say hey, Blinken? No, I said hey, Blinken. I mean, of course, it's got the absolutely incomparable, what's his name? Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
Dude, watch my back. Your back just got hit twice.
Thanks. I mean... Dave Chappelle, of course, went on to much bigger things.
Oh, yes.
But
he actually had a pretty good run in this time frame.
Oh, he did. But I mean, then you go sort of towards the late 90s, early 2000s with the Chappelle Show.
Yes.
And I mean, we all know, I'm Rick James, bitch. Giant South. You get that whole thing. Yeah. And it's sort of funny how Mel Brooks, okay, Rick Moranis was very well known by 1986.
Yeah.
But you had unknowns in there, like I nearly said Emilio Estevez, Facepalm. Who played Lone Star?
Bill Pullman.
I mean, he was pretty much, he'd done a few small roles.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he's the president of the United States in ID4.
I still maintain that is one of the great speeches in movie history.
Yeah, if
you're American.
Well, if you don't mind stealing Winston Churchill and Roosevelt, I mean,
Well, yes, you might as well stand on the shoulders of giants.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, but no, they're definitely my favourites. I'm sure we're missing out a bunch of Mel Brooks.
Well, you've got Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Yeah, didn't love that one.
Really?
No.
I love Dracula Dead and Loving It.
I didn't mind it. It was okay.
Stab him again.
Yeah.
Boom, more blood.
Not dead yet. He's
dead enough. Yeah. And the what else was it? Then after that scene, he was walking away. He goes, as I tell everybody, when it comes to stakings, it's location. Or you've got the weird, insane character lying on the bed, and those ghostly women come in, or the vampire women come in.
Yeah.
No, this is wrong. Wrong me, baby, wrong me today. I mean, the whole thing was it was a lot more camp.
It was. I mean, there's the great bit there where he's got two women in a room and he's controlling them through the window.
Yeah. And
he's going, no, you stand up and you sit down. And they're saying, no, you stand up and you sit down. The wrong person stands up. They walk towards the door. No, not you. And it's just so well done.
And I think that the brilliant thing though was having Leslie Nielsen.
Yes.
Play Dracula. I mean, anything Leslie Nielsen's in that at all, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, we will have to go back to the beginning of Leslie Nielsen.
We're going through one at a time,
sort
of thing. Was Spy Hard one of Mel Brooks's?
I'm just having a quick look online. I can't see it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's not.
I don't think it was, no.
No. But what are we missing there? The History of the World Part 1?
That wasn't, that wasn't too bad.
And The Producers.
The Producers, of course, is a play about people producing plays.
Yeah.
Which is funny, but great concept.
Yeah.
Very, very popular play in America.
Yep.
Not so popular anywhere else.
Yeah. And obviously he's appeared in a lot of movies and stuff like that.
Well, he was in the Muppet movie playing the German torturer of frogs. Where the German says, hold your hat, you hold your hat, hold now.
But talking about Leslie Nielsen, let's go right back. Let's go to Airplane.
Oh.
Or Flying High, as we probably know.
Yeah, either and or, mate. I mean, it was a fantastic movie.
Yeah, that was probably my introduction to it all.
Yes.
Which probably says a lot about my sense of humour, given the age when I watched it.
Absolutely. But, I mean, at the same time, Airplane came out. We had other comedy movies at the same time, like Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
Police Academy, of course. Mm-hmm. Ghostbusters was only, once again, a couple of years old.
Yep.
So it was the heyday of the schlock comedy.
Yes.
And Airplane, I wouldn't call it schlock comedy because as you get older and you actually watch...
It's incredibly smart.
and it's incredibly complex. The way they set the scenes up, there's always something going on that isn't actually in the scene.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
The things going on in the background, the great wordplay.
Yes.
Everyone can quote, don't call me Shirley.
Yes.
Things like that,
Yes.
When will we land? I can't tell you. You can't tell me, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
No, all right, not for another 2 hours. You can't tell me for another 2 hours? It's just things like that. It's so good.
You can tell that there's sort of, it was actually one of the Zucker brothers.
Yes.
And, of course, they went on later to, we'll get to it, Naked Gun, the Police Squad.
Leslie Nielsen.
Again. And the great thing about Airplane, though, was the cockpit scenes.
Yes.
Because there's just the frame, you've just got a background with a door in it and a few weird-looking controls at the back, even though no planes ever look like that.
No.
and sort of reminiscent in a way of like Millennium Falcon and just two people.
Yeah.
And their conversations.
Well, that's right. 2 people, 3 people, whatever. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But it was a small
Roger,
space.
you want a clearance, Clarence?
And like one of my favourite Monty Python skits is sort of similar. It's the one with the tiger in Meaning of Life, where they're all searching for the tiger because Jones kind of got his leg bit off. And it's just a foreshot of the guys, and they're just talking amongst each other. And it's just so, you have to be a reasonably or a very good actor to be able to do that, which is incredible for the Pythons to do that.
Yes.
Because they weren't very well known for their great acting.
Incredibly smart, incredibly funny, but...
But of course, Nielsen has been acting, been in movies since the 50s.
Yeah.
So
this was his first comedic role, I believe.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I'll take it.
He was a serious actor.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, sort of like people like, we think of, say, Peter Falk, who's Columbo, the silly, ditzy sort of cop who manages to win at the end of every case.
Yeah.
But he was a very big serious actor too throughout the 50s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
So Leslie Nielsen got into comedy, and his timing is perfect.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favourite lines from his is, I can't even remember what movie it's from, but someone, he appears in someone's room. Who are you? How did I get in here? Let's try that again. Who are you? How did you get in here? I'm a locksmith. And I'm a locksmith.
That's Naked Gun 2.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's just such a nothing line, yet he does it so well.
And I mean, but Airplane, I mean, the only really risque thing I can think of from that movie was the scene with the little boy. Have you ever been into a men's washroom?
Do you like gladiator movies?
Have you ever seen a grown man cry? He's coming to the plane
and the stewardess is trying, I think that's enough now. We'll come back and he goes, no, he can stay here.
It's just absolutely absurdly wonderful.
And there's just little things like, okay, everyone get your crash positions, put your head between your legs. No, your own legs, father.
Well, see, the thing is, though, I mean, the other ones archetypically, we went through and sort of went, okay, Blazing Saddles is making fun of Sergio Leone and obviously Mel Brooks is making fun of Star Wars and all that. So, Airplane, what's it parodying?
Okay, there was a big disaster movie kick at that time. So you had the Towering Inferno.
About 10 years beforehand.
But I mean, that's at the time. You don't make parodies of films that come out the year before. You do it sometime later.
Absolutely.
So there was a bit of a kick on that. So I think that's what it was doing.
Yeah, and of course, Airplane 2 sort of was out a little bit after Die Hard 2, and you could definitely tell that it was having a bit of a go at Die Hard 2 with some of the action scenes.
I love them. Okay, it's not as good as the first one.
No.
But, they very rarely are. But it was really good.
I mean, other than Terminator 2, I can't think of any sequels that actually top the original.
Well, I can hear arguments for Aliens, although I don't necessarily believe that.
Two different movies. I don't think you can sort of... Okay, they've got the same monster in it, but one's a military movie, which is Aliens, and the other one's an actual gothic horror movie, which is the first Alien.
And they're both fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
But, you're right. It's very rare. Maybe Godfather Part 2?
I don't know. I mean,
But they're a bit dated now.
Well, it doesn't matter if they're dated. I mean, the original Godfather is a masterpiece of a movie. Absolutely.
It doesn't need to be 3 hours long, I can tell you that. It could have done it in 2 hours.
Well, just don't tell Corleone that, because he may have an offer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You can't refuse.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love the movie.
It's sort of like they made a Scarface too. I mean, how are you going to beat Scarface, the original Scarface?
Well, the original Scarface is a 1930s movie, but let's not go there.
Well, okay, sorry. let me say the updated Al Pacino version.
Yeah.
Say hello to my little friend,
That's
you know?
right.
I mean, brilliant.
Okay, so we've done sort of the airplanes, although I could riff on that for hours.
Well, I mean, we've only done a couple of scenes from that, so
Okay, all right. Okay, let's say as Ted, the main guy, is walking through the airport, he gets accosted by the Hare Krishnas and the all those sorts of people, and he just fights them off.
Yeah.
I just think that's great. He goes up there and buys a ticket. Was that smoking or non-smoking? Smoking. She hands him a ticket. That's actually smoking.
Yeah.
Okay. They're trying to land the plane, and he's talking to ground control sort of thing, and he's got the girl next to him, and he's going, okay, we're starting to shudder, and then okay, it's starting to shake. And then starting to shimmy, and you look across to her. She's got the thesaurus. It's just reading out the different things.
We've got the tremors. I mean, yeah, Airplane is one of those movies that I think, unfortunately for me, it was just never one of those. As much as I love Nielsen and I love the Zucker brothers, don't get me wrong, it just wasn't. I think, but I'll give you an earlier Zucker parody movie that I know you don't like, but I'm a huge fan of when it comes to parodies. The Kentucky Fried Movie.
Yeah, I mean, you've compelled me to watch it, and I've tried, and I just did not get it, and I don't know why. It does have the kind of humour I like, but for whatever reason, it didn't strike a chord with me.
Well, I mean, for me, because sort of I've grown up with tales of, you know, mum and dad in the theatre back in the day, and what the Ascot and
Ascot.
It's a racecourse. Hang on, what?
Or an item of clothing.
Anyway, the big cinemas in that 60s and 70s in Melbourne and places like that, and they used to have a pre-show, the news, another few ads, and then the main attraction. Then they'd go, after the main attraction, you go back into ads. Yeah,
and it would just...
And then you go to the news, and then, of course, the movie finishes. But it's a very disconnected movie. It's like the meaning of life.
Yes.
There is only, in my opinion, one crap sketch in the meaning of life. That's the clock sketch. I don't get the clock sketch.
Yeah, it certainly does not rank up there with the other...
no, and I mean, they really tried to get, you know, the whole movie as a narrative. Of course, it didn't work, but that's the same problem that I think they had with excuse me, the Kentucky Fried try again, the Kentucky Fried Movie.
Well, there was no flow.
Yeah, but it had some great moments, like when they somehow managed to merge The Wizard of Oz with a kung fu movie.
Yeah.
How the hell do you get? And it worked.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, not all movies need to flow. I think you can look to either, you know, Life of Brian or Search for Holy Grail, and those are not movies. Those are individual scenes stitched together.
But they're stitched together
well. Specifically, the Search for Holy Grail are definitely just individual scenes. You know, they're one-act plays.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But for me, the Kentucky Fried Movie, it just had this element of just pure fun and mockery of the entire zeitgeist of that particular era in America.
So it was 74, I want to say.
Yes. Yeah. That was probably a little bit later than that. Because the Zucker brothers were good friends with another one of our favourite professions, which is professional wrestling. And one of the very first things they ever committed to film was Mick Foley literally throwing himself off the top of a house.
Yeah.
So they have to be contemporaneous in age with Foley.
77.
Yeah. So they have to be contemporaneous in age with Foley.
And interesting, just looking at IMDb, a series of short, highly irreverent and often tasteless skits. And that sort of sums it up pretty well.
Are you saying Catholic Girls Gone Wild 2 is irreverent?
I like that part.
You know? I still don't get why they needed to put a pie on the horse's ass.
No.
And if any,
just for taste's sake, you know, you don't want to go tasteless.
And the midget whipping scene. And the funny thing is, that movie was trying to show how stupid at times movies like that were popular at the time, like Deep Throat, were being considered in quotes movies.
Yes,
because they were soft porn erotica, but they were shocking. So we'll put them in. It's like, Debbie Does Dallas is your 5-star movie at 8:30 p.m. tonight. What the?
That's just a poor girl trying to support her local football team. Why can't you support her?
Well, then she did The Farm. That was the end of that. But you know what I mean. I get I have nothing against pornography, but it's certainly, you don't take your girlfriend to a movie featuring that sort of stuff.
Well, Taxi Driver. Travis takes Sybil Shepherd on a first date to a pornographic movie. She doesn't like it, and he ends up killing a bunch of people. So there's that.
I don't recommend that, by the way.
It's a great movie. I recommend the movie.
Yeah, the movie. Don't get me wrong. The movie, but that as an idea, as a concept, probably doesn't go down very well.
Okay, well, keeping that, we've discussed Monty Python a few times, so let's kick on with that. I do love Life of Brian, but I think Holy Grail is the better movie.
Well, the thing is, we're now going from direct parodies of movies now into parodies of society and social ideas.
A very different movie. Obviously, Holy Grail is very Arthur and things like that.
Making fun of the whole English aristocracy.
Yes.
I mean, the king tries to talk to people and he ends up talking about the flight velocity of swallows marriage carrying coconuts. I mean,
African or European swallow?
He goes to a castle, and he gets there's this French bugger up at the top of the parapets making fun of him. This guy is, I'm the king. Look at see the oppression inherent in the system. Help, I'm being repressed.
It's fantastic. Yeah, the lowest of the low, so to speak, people there digging up mud for a living, actually have this highly evolved government system.
Yeah, sort of half in the form of socialism, half in the form of democracy.
Yeah,
and I mean, miss, whoa, my name's David.
Sorry.
Why'd you call me miss? Well, you look like a girl with long hair. Well, that's the 1960s, isn't it? So, I mean, Monty Python are brilliant at the social commentary. Which, I mean, if you want to see the most perfect take on social commentary for a comedy I've ever seen, Life of Brian.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely, except the alien scene. Everything else in that movie was perfect social commentary.
Well, it's like, discard the shoe, follow the gourd. Is perfect for this day and age.
Well, I mean, it's the whole thing of, and of course the other thing which ties onto that is, I know you're the Messiah, I followed enough of them.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, shit. The guy can't win, and that's the thing about, I suppose about the Life of Brian is it's sort of like, people get so caught up in we need to believe in something, we need to follow something, so they follow this poor bastard who just wanted to be alone.
Well, that's right. Obviously, the discussion about do we need to follow someone is a little bit deep for this conversation.
Well, it's a conversation we'll keep in mind. Perhaps we'll have it another time because, of course, you're always welcome on the podcast.
Yep.
Let's move away from that because otherwise we will end up in that conversation.
Right.
Let's stay with the Zucker brothers because the next movie I want to talk about is The Naked Gun.
That's another one where there's just so many things happening in the background, or the foreground for that matter, and you don't get it until like the third time watching it. There's a great bit in, I'm pretty sure it's the first movie, and I'm sorry, I've seen them all so many times, they do tend to run together.
Yes.
Like they're in a lab sort of thing, and they go from one side of the room to the other, and one of the guys walks through a door. There's a doorway in the middle of the room. He just opens the door, walks through and closes it, and the other two guys go around it.
Yes.
And there's no walls or anything there, it's just a door.
And it's a brilliant side game.
They just keep talking, and they make no mention of it whatsoever. And it's just amazing.
Frank Drebin, Leslie Nielsen, of course, offers a lady a smoke, goes, would you like a cigarette? He just goes, cigarette, and she, of course, goes, yes, it is.
Yeah. They do that gag a lot of times. Your coat, sir. Yes, and I have the receipt to prove it.
Or they're walking away from a crime scene and they bring out the gurney and it keeps going throughout the entire scene. They just keep bringing this gurney out and it gets longer and longer. And of course you get the wonderful bits like... everywhere I look, it reminds me of her. And there's those two nuclear stacks which look like tits.
And O.J. Simpson, despite the fact what he did after this, which was never proved, of course, Like the first scene, I think he swims. You know, he gets on the boat and kicks through a door, and his foot gets stuck.
Yeah.
And like 10 people, and there comes out with his gun. Put him down. One person drops their gun. Everyone else just
But
shoots
did you
him.
notice Disney picked up on that because the first Aladdin. I've got a scimitar.
Yeah. We've all got swords.
It's almost like that sort of like they watch Naked Gun and went, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You know? But you're right, and of course the scene that plays onto that, you know, I think we can save your husband's arm, ma'am. Where would you like it sent?
Yeah.
You know? I want to help you. What can I get you, Nordberg? Drugs.
Yeah. Okay, nurse, give this man some drugs. No, heroin. That'll take a bit more time.
I mean, and the steamroll scene at the end where the bad guy gets steamrolled and then the marching band over top of him, and then the inspector goes, that's the way my father went. He goes, what the hell is going on here? You know? The whole movie was just Pavarotti. Everyone mistaken Leslie Nielsen for Pavarotti. I mean, that was just
I love that he saves the day at the end. It's Pavarotti saved the day.
You know, the Queen chucks the biggest curveball of all time, just spirals to the bloody keeper's head.
The first one and the second one are amazing movies. The third one I didn't really get.
Yeah, I think the third one was sort of, they were a bit over it. I mean, the second one where, you know, O.J. Simpson starts with a 45 Magnum and ends up with a bloody huge artillery.
Puts on the silencer, puts on the arm guard, puts on...
There's 10 seconds to go and the nuclear bomb's got to go off and Leslie Nielsen trips over the power line and that's it, power cord, and that's it.
Which is something they brought back in Under Siege 2.
Yes.
Remember the guy had the laptop which was causing earthquakes.
Yes.
And so Steven Seagal just shot the laptop. And it's like, oh yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's but the thing is, in a comedy movie, that's funny.
Yeah. In
a movie that's supposed to be a serious action movie, that's shit.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad.
I had a fight scene. What was your final fight scene? I shot a laptop.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I did love Naked Gun 1 and 2. And the second one, you know, it's like, can you describe the man? Oh, he had a mustache, about 6 foot tall. That's an awfully big mustache.
Yeah. Al, you've got something on the side of your mouth. So he flicks it there, comes his giant tooth. And of course the speech in the first one. Don't you know how much it hurts to be a man? How much it can hurt? They're not here for you, Frank. They're here for Weirdo Yankovic.
And the dating scene?
Yes.
You know, they're running down the beach arm in arm, they clothesline someone, they come out of the movie and they're laughing and they look up and it's Platoon. Which is a great movie, but it is not funny.
Leslie Nielsen's walking through the city and he's doing his big, you know, big talk about, you know, and what happened with such and where the hell was I? Because now he's in the middle of the outback. Like in the middle of what? I mean, and of course the statue where he's on the ledge.
Oh yeah,
and he turns the statue's penis upwards.
Yeah, put him down so he's going.
And he turns it up the other way, and the statue's got a big smile on his face with the hairs behind the head. Yeah. It just had so many great moments, and of course it just absolutely brilliantly parodied all the old 60s, 70s, 80s cop shows.
Yeah, there's no doubt about what that was parodying.
And of course, there was here in Australia we had our own version, of course, called Barge Ass.
Yes. The D generation.
Although that was, I mean, they did an internet technique, of course, where they just talked over and basically did a bad lip sync of it. Mm-hmm. But that's back in the late 80s.
It was really well done.
And for its time.
Yeah, I thoroughly love that stuff.
It was like 30 years ahead of its time, man. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've done the Naked Gun. So we're going through the best ones. Now there's 2 we haven't mentioned yet.
Well, okay. Are we still going the 90s? So this is now we're on we've done the peak. We're sort of on the way down. So we're doing Loaded Weapon 1.
No.
Oh, okay, you got more?
Because I think we're missing one from 1990 that we need to talk about, and that's Hot Shots.
Oh, of course, you're right.
Hot Shots, what a great movie.
Obviously parodying Top Gun.
And Platoon and Commando.
But obviously Top Gun was the overall.
Oh, absolutely.
For the first one. But yeah. Yes, you're right. I can't believe I forgot that one in this discussion.
Some of your favourites, I'm led to believe.
Oh, yes, absolutely. The first one especially. The second one was funny, but not as good as the first one. But yeah, it had... where one of my previous jobs, the lady that worked under me, it was one of her favourite movies. And, we'd all be sitting there going, not Marine Pfaffenbach. Used to summer at Eagle River.
Eagle River! If If it helps you, Eddie, I didn't have seconds. You ain't my father.
Top Gun being one of my favourite movies. This one was just so good.
And the great thing I really like about it is we got Charlie Sheen before Charlie Sheen was infamous.
Yep.
And there was just so many cultural references to the time, like start with the old Native American man, and when you come back, bring me some batteries. And he comes back with the batteries, and it turns out the old man's listening to MC Hammer.
Yeah.
It's a little sizzling belly.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
She gets turned on and orgasms over having things cooked on her stomach.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And she tells that great joke, what do you do with an elephant with three balls? What? You're walking and pitch to the rhino. It's stupid, but it's quite funny.
And the old man, of course, walks up to a picture and goes, "Look what he's done to morale."
Yeah. Yes. I went to school with that man.
The other one. Who put that crab on the stairs? I didn't see any crab. There were two.
They're always wearing stairs.
I've lost my cap. How can I be an admiral without my cap?
Put Jenkins in a boat and have him row around. We'll take your favourite shows. We won't miss anything. It could be weeks. We'll put some food in the goddamn boat. I have to think of everything.
At 5 a.m, we attack the enemy coast, sir. Well, that's close enough.
It'll take some extra planning, but we'll do
it. I mean, and he saves the day. Topper saves the day.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is, I've always wanted to know, what's the difference between...
What is a chafing dish?
A chafing dish.
I thought it was a crock pot. No.
Yeah. And the fight scene where they punch each other. And the lady, I forget the actor's name, the female actor's name. The drill sergeant. Now put those shoulders back and chest out.
Are you eyeballing me, mister? That's Kirsty Swanson.
Yes.
You're one hell of a guy. So are you.
Oh, they're coming back after the big mission. No, you want to get out of the way? We're trying to land.
and that little dog.
Yeah.
Is everywhere. Yeah. The disabled parking on the aircraft.
Yeah.
Have you no shame? Absolutely.
And coincidentally, the other guy from 2.5 Men, along with Charlie Sheen, is on there. Walleye.
I thought that. Yeah, that was Walleye. That's right. And that's right. I'll be your eyes on the ground.
Sorry, for the people out there, you see the look of horror on the guy's face, and you got the guy who can't see being the radar operator.
And of course, if you haven't actually seen any of these movies, we highly recommend all of them. Because
sorry, I should have put that at the beginning. Spoiler alert.
Stuff it. I mean,
these are very, very old movies. If you haven't seen them by now, it's your own fault.
Oh, look out, them fighting words.
It's all right.
I'm offended. I mean, that was Hot Shots. Hot Shots 2, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it had some great moments. I think you're right, though.
Yeah, that was more Rambo, Basic Instinct.
Platoon,
yeah.
But the great thing I loved was where they parodied Terminator 2 at the end, where Saddam Hussein turns into the liquid mercury with his dog.
Yeah.
And then he reforms.
Yeah.
as like half Saddam, half dog. And then him and the old guy have a lightsaber battle.
Yes.
And then they stop for drinks and their shadows are still fighting. I mean, it was a great scene.
Oh, yeah. And
Rowan Atkinson,
yes. And Topper's out there. Oh, and the great bit from the beginning. Why are you asking me to go? Because you're the best of what's left. And the big action scene, he keeps shooting everyone, runs out of bullets, just bends over, picks up some bullets on the ground, throws them, 15 people die.
And the counter. And the counter ends up the bloodiest movie of all time.
Yeah, and then he's got his bow and arrow, and then he's trying to shoot the guy with an arrow, and the guy keeps ducking and stuff like that. And so he picks up a chicken and fires that at him.
I mean, they were classic, funny movies. Mm. But you're right, towards the end of the 90s now.
So, I mean, still one of our favourites is Loaded Weapon 1.
Well, that too was early 90s. That was sort of taking on the whole...
that was Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon and Die Hard.
Yes.
And of course, a little bit of gangster in there with... But the actors they lined up for that were amazing. You had Emilio Estevez, Samuel L. Jackson, Dennis Leary...
Tim Curry.
Bill Shatner.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, my God, just those names. Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen was in it for a little bit. Whoopi Goldberg, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the who's who of Hollywood of that time
Yeah.
were in that damn movie.
Yeah.
Even Bruce Willis made a cameo.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Just 14, 17. No, it's down the street. Thanks.
Sorry. Just blow up his entire caravan, destroyed his life.
Yeah.
But that was absolutely a wonderful movie.
It was, yeah.
The opening scene in the supermarket.
Oh, yeah.
Where he looks like he's looking through nighttime goggles and it turns out to be 2 toilet rolls.
So he's protecting the deli from being shot up.
And we
robbed.
missed a name as well, Tim Curry.
I said Tim Curry.
Oh, sorry, you said
Wilderness Girls.
I'm your first name. No, actually, working up without my penis is my first name. Okay. Not your first name, but right up there.
I love it. He knocks on the door. Wilderness Girls from Oprah. Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Is it a little bit late to be selling cookies?" She says we're not meeting our Kawuta. I can't do the accent obviously, but it's just fantastic.
And they had Proctor in there as well too, as the sidekick cop.
Yeah.
Talking to Mrs. Sharon Bone.
Yeah.
With a gratuitous beaver scene of a beaver on a chair.
Looks like they committed suicide. Oh, caught themselves by surprise.
You've got the scene, of course, Dennis Leary, the Playboy, where William Shatner goes in there and kills everybody after they have a little play on sayings, and they go in there afterwards. And Herb was the guy who played Proctor, and he goes, "Herb, I got this burning, itching sensation in my foot," and Samuel L. Jackson goes, "That's because your foot's on fire." Just random.
What do we got here? Oh, just dusty, dry scalp. We got down. Well, here, try Head and Shoulders. Sarge, it's itching. That means it's working.
Such great ad placements too, because they were so obvious what they were doing. But the same scene. There's a sheet over a dead body. So he lifts up one end, it's feet. He goes to the other end, lifts it up, there's still feet. What the hell's going on here? Try the cocaine. So the bad henchman tries the cocaine. You pan back, and he's just a smoking skeleton with a thumbs up.
All right, so moving on, I guess that brings us to a scary movie.
We can go to scary movie, or we can go to Spy Hard first.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to scary movie.
Let's keep it moving.
Because to me, scary movie was the last
scary
of the
movie
true
is the
great...
End, yes, is the end of the parody, the great parody,
absolutely.
And then we just had a glut. But anyway, let's do scary movie first.
Well, I mean...
Okay. So, scary movie parody of Scream?
Absolutely.
Is Scream a parody movie?
No.
Is 21 Jump Street a parody movie?
Well, 21 Jump Street, the original was actually had a comedic elements
it
anyway.
Did, but not like this.
Oh, obviously not. But no, because it's I think it's self-referential comedy rather than satire. It's not satire. You cannot satirize yourself, but you can make fun of yourself. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Someone else has to satirize you.
Yeah, okay. I would certainly say that Scream is not a parody movie. I would maybe listen to arguments that 21 Jump Street is. 22 Jump Street is certainly getting more towards that.
And then, of course, you've got the latest one with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Which is a perfect segue to...
But well, we're not segueing yet because we haven't done a scary movie. But Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with the remake of the Hoff TV show.
Oh, Baywatch.
Now, Baywatch was trying its hardest.
Yes.
To be fair, it was trying its
hardest. So are we calling Baywatch a parody? No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I mean... They made fun of every single moment, but so we're defining terms 3/4 away through the discussion.
Yeah.
But let's go back to scary movie.
Let's go. Scary movie was awesome.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Definitely
my favourite recent one. Even then, it's not that recent.
No, we're talking mid to late 90s with that one.
That
was it 2000s?
Yeah.
Not sure.
Let's have a look. Scary movie. Give a shout out to IMDb. 2000, there you go. So we're up to number 5 now. Scary movie.
Oh my God, they made more than 2?
Well, that's right. Apparently, Ashley Tisdale was popular enough to make him a Scary Movie 5.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah, but anyway, Scary Movie 1, just Scary Movie, parodying Scream and all the slashes.
And everything else in between too. They had the scene where you go to torture your boyfriend. It was Prince.
Yeah.
You know, sitting on chair.
And I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes.
Yeah, things like that.
All the because the
The
whole,
teen slashers.
Yeah,
the 90s teen slashers.
I'd say the girls' teen slashers more than the guys, because I mean, nothing against guys who watch Scary Movie and stuff like that. You possibly did, but I didn't. I just, it's like, you know, I was still in like, let's watch Jason and let's see people just get ripped up by this giant dude, or you know, the Freddy Krueger sort of thing. Yeah. Which was almost a parody of itself in a way. It was,
well, yeah, Freddy Krueger. Yeah, so Nightmare on Elm Street was certainly funny.
Yes.
Much funnier than any of those other ones.
Well, Child's Play had its moments.
Yes.
But yeah. But anyway, going back to Scary Movie, you had one of my all-time favourite scenes where she's talking to the guy in the Scream mask. And she's, are you going to kill me, psycho scary guy? Do you want me to just break my ankle? And the thing nods and breaks it. Oh! And then she just won't shut up, so she cuts the head off and goes, and puts it in the trash. Why did you put me in here, scary psycho killer?
Hope you don't mind if I fake it. That's Shannon Elizabeth.
That scene was done so well, because every single element of what you'd normally have in a horror movie, when the bad guy's chasing it down, you know, you break a leg or you twist.
Well, that was from Scream, when Tatum was trying to escape from the garage, and it basically comes from that.
And I love the big black, the big black gay guy.
Ray.
Yeah, yeah, and you know.
No, he's not gay. Didn't you see at the end?
Yeah, well, he certainly enjoyed being tickled by a dildo in the ear.
That's right.
in the glory
this shirt
hole.
make me look gay? No, Dad. Oh, what if I do this?
And of course, the slasher guy, when they're getting high with Shorty, who's my favourite character in that movie. You know, and he's sitting there and he's like, he does the killer rap. And everybody but Shorty's dead, and like afterwards, Shorty doesn't even notice everyone's dead. He's like, that's the illest rap ever. I'm just like, hell to the yes.
Yeah, because Shorty plays the Jamie Kennedy character from Scream. He's telling everyone the rules and stuff like that. Yeah. And it was really good. You know, parodying Blair Witch as well. That was in there.
Oh yes,
with
the nose just constantly running. Yeah.
But no, that was great. The second one, Scary Movie 2, is watchable. That's The Haunting.
And that's the one where it actually does the I Know What You Did Last Summer, because they got the hook at the beginning and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it all just goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that they just become unwatchable.
Well, I mean, the second one I like. There's only one scene that I thought was absolutely brilliant.
In the second one.
Yeah. And that's when the sativa decided to roll up Shorty and smoke him.
Yeah, that's right.
Shorty's so high that the marijuana plant's now getting high off Shorty. You know? It's fantastic. But that...
No, the number 2 is watchable. The rest are not.
Yeah, well, I gave up after 2 because I'm not a cinephile. I'm not a movie person as really at all. I can find other things to do with my time, and that's just me. But... yeah, so I give up pretty easily on something. Once I get to a certain point, it's like I won't watch the new Terminator movie, even though I love Jim Cameron. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love Linda.
Oh, so not the last one. You're talking the next
one coming up. Okay. I won't watch it because after watching the third one, I was done with the whole thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good having Cameron come back into it. You know, might
look, I've got no problems with Cameron coming back into it. It might even be a good movie, but once I'm done with a series, it's sort of like Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan for the episodes 1 to 7. I thought 7 was great. Loved Rey as the new hero.
Yeah, 7 was great.
Watched the last movie and went, I'm done.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against people who liked the movie. You can like the movie. I'm just done.
Yeah. So I mean, all the current ones basically, or parody movies basically ending in movie. Epic movie, superhero movie. Superhero movie
was great. No, that was good.
The superhero movie is watchable. It is not great.
I love superhero movies.
It's certainly a downside better than epic movie. Then and Meet the Spartans, and you know.
Hang on. Can we just back up with some of these movies, because I think that there's at least one or two scenes that are worth talking about.
Okay.
Superhero movie is a personal favourite of mine. I understand that you skipped it, but
I don't. I love it.
The whole scene where he finds out that the crazy uncle of his best mate, the whole Spider-Man ripoff, finds out that he's the Dragonfly. and the Dragonfly realizes that the crazy uncle of his mate's the
Yep.
bad guy, and they have this huge argument over what reason they need to excuse themselves, and
Yeah.
the guy who's the big bad guy then goes, "I've just poopied my pants,"
Yeah.
and it's stupid, but it works. And there's a fart scene in there
Yep.
where they're trying to have this romantic scene, and the aunt's just farting the whole thing. And at the end, he goes, "Don't cry, I love you," and she's like, "I'm not crying because of that. I'm crying because I can't breathe."
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that was one of the better, more recent ones, but it is still not great.
And for me, one of the best scenes in comedy history, with
Hawking. Not Hawking?
Hawking, yes.
Yeah.
He gets stuck in the bees, and all you can hear is shat.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for saving the world, Dragonfly. And Stephen Hawking goes flying off the building. Shat.
Yeah. But I mean, Meet the Spartans was terrible.
Absolutely.
Absolutely terrible. I mean, yeah, all of these have maybe one or two good moments.
I mean, the only thing I really liked from Meet the Spartans was the dance-off between the Spartans and the Persians.
Yeah.
With Xerxes with his bling and Leonidas with his bling, and they get the people out there and do a b-boy instead of the Battle of Thermopylae. I thought that was pretty cool.
I actually like the bit at the beginning where the messenger comes in.
Yes.
And yes, we greet our women with a high five, and we greet our men with a passionate open mouth kiss.
Yeah.
And the messenger's going, "Hey, that's cool, whatever."
But that, you're right though. Before we were talking movies we liked that were actually funny, that were good. I mean, this is obviously opinion.
Yeah.
They were. We can talk about those movies for hours. We went through a few scenes, but I mean, you could just spend days on those movies.
Absolutely, and we have. Let's face it.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it may be, as you said at the beginning, what we grew up with, but now the parody movie has disappeared up its backside.
Yeah. I saw a couple recently, like, what's the haunted house ones these days? With the cameras everywhere. Fuck, I make...
IMDb.
Yeah, I will, but I can't just type in that movie with the cameras everywhere. It's not really going to...
Come up with a Big Brother or something.
Yeah, that's true. And hopefully...
Parody of life, Big Brother.
We can hopefully edit this out. Hot Fuzz. We calling that a parody movie?
Not really.
No, that's...
Shaun of the Dead. I think you've got a better case with Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
That's definitely a parody movie.
The Starving Games. Vampires Suck. Wow.
Oh, I mean, the trouble is... people.
Disaster Movie. Harry Pothead. Yeah.
I think that people sort of tried to get too complex. And a lot of things that make people laugh is you have to make them laugh at themselves. That's a big part of it. And laugh at just the absurdity of, these movies that you thought were really great until you take away the music and then it's terrible. Or you just actually look at what's going on in the scene and, it's ridiculous. So these parody movies come out and make fun of it. Yeah. But now everything's trying to be serious. That's just my personal feelings. Like, and we have to be ultra intelligent and ultra this. It's like, no. The average person has an IQ of 100.
That's right. Yeah, by definition.
and I want to just enjoy myself. And if that means, whatever my IQ is, and I'm not suggesting it's any more than 100, but whatever my IQ is, I just want to enjoy shit being made fun of.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
all right, just sort of finishing off on this section, ones that we haven't discussed.
Yes.
Not Another Teen Movie. I really enjoyed that, actually.
Fair enough.
But no, it's certainly not the same as some of the other ones.
Yes.
Wet Hot American Summer. Not really a parody movie.
No.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen parts of it.
Yeah, it's quite good. Austin Powers. So,
how can we miss Austin Powers?
Yeah, we did miss Austin Powers.
Next time.
Yeah. George of the Jungle.
How can you parody something that was already comedy?
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, you can still parody it, but...
Well, how do you parody something that's silly? You make it serious?
Yeah, well...
You have a serious dissertation, 3-hour dissertation on your George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
No. You might be able to say that The Lion King was a parody of bad parody of Hamlet.
Yes.
It was certainly not a good version of Hamlet.
No, that's true.
That's the thing is, I think that we both can sort of agree that after the early 2000s, the great parody movies, for some reason or another, disappeared. And it may be because at that time Hollywood was rebooting everything, and they're still bloody rebooting everything. And everything's just become boring, plain, and so much the same as it always has been, I guess, for the last 10, 15 years, that there's no point in parodying anything because there's nothing to parody that hasn't already been parodied.
No, that's right. So, so you're right. With just remaking movies, there's nothing left to parody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Unless you're making them the actual parody themselves.
Well, that's right. I mean, you've got another disaster movie and things like that, but there's not enough material. And the writers today, I don't think, are anywhere near as good as say, a Mel Brooks or the Zucker brothers or any of those brilliant comedy teams. Mm-hmm. You look at Mel Brooks, and of course he started as a writer on Get Smart.
Yeah.
Which was a parody show on the secret spy shows.
Yep.
And of course James Bond and things like that. And then of course he's moved into the movies, and he's moved into theatre and things like this. But he's a dying breed.
Yeah.
And it's a shame.
It is a shame because they were excellent movies which you could rely on for a few laughs.
Absolutely.
But now you just can't do that.
Thank you for listening to the Drunk Philosophy podcast today. Unfortunately, we ran into some technical issues at the end. So thank you very much for Michael for coming and talking with us today. And if you liked what you heard, please like, share and subscribe. Until next time, have a good day and goodbye.